Do you think you're coming back?
There are risks, but we have every intention of coming back.
Somebody got a Swiss Army knife?
A Swiss Army knife? Are you kidding me?
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Back again. Grandma's here.
You bet.
Got another movie to talk about. One point before we get going here, if you do like our movie, our review, or like watching it at least, we hope that you will subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We hope that you will give the video a like if you like it. And we also hope that you will leave us a comment, because we're very interested really on what you think of not only the movies, but the videos. And also, we want to know what you all are watching out there. What movies are you going to? What should we be going to? Tell us what we should go and see, and we will try to get to the movie.
Have we missed something? Yes.
Might have. Who knows? We're not going to more than one or so a week, so we're trying. We're trying to go to as many as we can. But back to the review. This week we went to First Man, which is it's basically about Neil Armstrong. It's his life, his astronaut life, basically, because it starts with him as a test pilot flying the X-15 and such, leads to him joining the space program, and ends, as we all know, with him landing on the moon and being the first man to set foot on the moon. And what did you think of it, Grandma?
It was fascinating. The movie makers did a superb job, I think, of letting us see what it was like to be Neil Armstrong. Not just the first man on the moon. He didn't know that was going to happen to him when the story
Didn't start
started.
out that way.
No. No, it didn't. And he had a family, children that he loved, and a wife who...
Claire Foy plays his wife.
She was the epitome of the wife of a man whose life is very dangerous and adventurous.
And again, Ryan Gosling, we didn't mention, is Neil Armstrong.
Yes. He even amazingly looks like Neil Armstrong, or the young.
I don't know about that.
Well.
I think he gets the demeanor down very well. I don't know about the likes.
But the steps that they went through, to become astronauts. They were pilots. They were they were flyers. But an astronaut is something that hadn't occurred yet.
Right.
The Russians were pressuring us because they wanted to do all this stuff first.
It was a space race, Grandma.
It was a space race, yes. They took the camera with him through the good and the bad, the test runs.
Mm-hmm.
You got a feeling of how close the quarters were in those little pods that they put the men in, and you got that feel really well done, and how noisy and rackety it was to ride in those things. When us mere humans were watching, and the rocket went up, that was just, whoa, hey, that's just beautiful. But if you were in that little pod at the top, it was a little bit different. And they did a good job showing us that. And of course, the ending, how can you have a better ending than one small step for mankind, one for man, giant leap for mankind. I mean,
get it right, Grandma.
A better final line I haven't heard in the film. It was really very well done. I thoroughly enjoyed it. We didn't get to see it in IMAX, but you might want to do that because of all the wonderful things they show us.
Yes.
Yes. What did you think?
Especially on the moon.
Especially on the moon.
The thing that, again, all the moon landing on the moon footage really does for us is that all we saw back in the 60s was all this little scratchy, video stuff on TV, and the TV's not that big either, not like nowadays. And then later on, we saw some photos which were a little sharper and looked a little nicer. But here you got It's all in color, even though the moon is all gray. But again, it's all very sharp, and it gives you a much better sort of feeling for what it was like to be on the moon. Again, I thought it was very well done. The thing that you should know really going into it, though, is it's not really the movie about the space program. That's another movie. This is really a movie about Neil Armstrong.
Yes.
It's a movie about him and his ups and his downs, and he has a lot of downs. He's a family man. He loves his family, and he's got tragedies that he has to deal with, and he holds these tragedies with him all the way to the moon. And it's that's really the story. It's the story of this man and what he goes through and how he deals with it. And it just so happens he's an astronaut. And we go along and we sort of follow along with him, and we see the space program, and there's, this Gemini over here, and there's this over there, and there's the Saturn rocket, So we sort of see the space program develop along with him, but it's really much more his story. I would say, I don't get a percentage on it, but again, the large majority of this film is of him, or him and his family, or him and his astronaut buddies. It's not him flying through space or landing on the moon. It's really him and how he lives through this.
We do get
situation.
To meet some of his fellow astronauts.
Yes.
Also very famous people. And the
what,
one that was in the rocket with him, the final rocket, Buzz Aldrin.
Buzz Aldrin, right.
And then they have the tragedy when the 3 astronauts are killed in the terrible accident. But it is fascinating, and it's true. This is something that really happened in our history.
Well, what you talk about the astronauts, though, it's interesting to see what a lot of different personalities they really were. They're not all Neil Armstrongs. And when it came time to choose who's going to land on the moon, who's going to be the first person on the moon, and who's going to fly these different missions, it can't have been an easy decision in some cases to match up these different people and who's going to be on these missions. But you're right. It really gave you a very vivid view of what they sort of went through.
And they're all just human beings,
right.
They just happen to have the training and the skills and the aptitude for this role that they were playing in the history of the space program. Those of us who lived through that, I am proud to say I did.
Me too.
Yes.
I'm still here.
We were around when this actually happened. And the one scene that they show of the world watching, when they get up there and are going down and they land on the moon and all that, it's not just the United States. We were all like that too. But the whole world was watching this wonderful thing that human beings were able to achieve. I remember that moment. And they didn't go into at all, how the astronauts felt about what they had achieved after this.
Yeah, again, it's
the
not...
The movie ends with them on the moon.
It's, again, first man, and they go on the moon, and they come back, and that's it.
That's it.
I'm not going to, not a spoiler really for you, because they do come back.
They could make a series of movies about what happens after this first trip to the moon, but I don't know if that's in the plans. But
so, Grandma, what was your final rating on this?
2 thumbs up. This is one of the best movies around. You need to go see it. If you lived through it, you'll probably respond the way I did emotionally. If you're a young person and you know about this, I know this happened in history. I know. Yeah, I know. Neil Armstrong. Oh, yeah, he's that. Okay. Go see this. It's very, very, very well done. Yes.
Yes, it is.
We recommend it. 2
Go
thumbs.
and see it.
2 thumbs.
Bye.